Hi everyone, my name is Angelica with This is Improv, and welcome back to our session called This is BIZ, where we talk through improv techniques and tools that can make your business and organization better. Our segment today is going to talk about something I think we're all familiar with at this point, and that is Zoom. So anyone who knows Zoom knows that there's a lot of things that are different than normal communication and having our normal face-to-face meetings. Some things are great and some things make it a little bit more complicated than we'd like. So today we're going to talk about 5 improv techniques that can make your Zoom call with your colleagues a little bit easier. Technique number 1 is listen. So in improv, when we're on stage together, we have maybe 5 people on stage at the same time. And an important thing that we learn while we're on stage is not to talk over each other. Now, anyone who's been on Zoom knows that it's hard to see when someone else is about to speak. And there tends to be overlap because of that. And when there's overlap on Zoom, no one knows what those 2, 3, 4 people had said at the same time. So with the listening technique, you make sure that the person that has been speaking is completely finished with their thought. So that might be a long pause that they've taken, or you know that their thought has been finished. You can even raise your hand during the session or as they're giving their piece, and once they finished, that's an indicator of, okay, now this person had something to say in between. It's time to hand over the mic to that person so they can speak. By doing that, we give the person who was talking a good amount of time to get what they wanted to say out. By using the listen technique, we show the other person on the line respect. So everyone likes to feel good while they're on Zoom. Everyone wants to feel like they've contributed. And people feel like they've contributed and like people respect what they have to say when they're not being spoken over. It's also important for the rest of the call. Let's say that you and your partner are trying to give a presentation. You want to make sure that both of you are being heard so that the audience gets the most out of that presentation. So you and your partner want to make sure that you have some kind of flow or some kind of tell to know when to stop and when to go. Now let's talk about technique number 2. This technique is called mirroring. And on stage, we use mirroring to reflect the movements of the other person. So one person will stand across from you and one person will be moving. The person standing across from you has to match your movements exactly. So what we would use this for on a Zoom call is if you haven't heard what the person has to say, if for some reason you did talk over, or if some reason the internet shuts off for a moment and then it resumes and you missed what that person had to say, you repeat what the person had said exactly. And that helps you make sure that you're receiving the information correctly, and it helps the other person know that the information they've been trying to get across is getting across. So let me give you an example. Let's say Sue is giving a presentation, and this presentation is about a new product that's super energy efficient, and it's energy efficient because it uses solar rays instead of being plugged into a wall for its energy. So let's say that another person, Jerry, is listening to Sue, and he wants to make sure before he responds, he's heard everything Sue has to say. So Jerry would say, oh, so this product is more energy efficient because you don't have to plug it into a wall, you leave it outside and it's energized by solar rays. Sue might say, yes. And that way Jerry knows how to move forward and that he's absorbed all the information using verbal mirroring. Improv technique number 3, make your ensemble feel good. So everyone knows what it's like to be on a Zoom call. You're either nervous to be giving people this new information, or you had to dress up for a Zoom call when you were lounging around 5 minutes before in your sweatpants. You might still be wearing your sweatpants, but you had to put on a nice shirt for the Zoom call. So it's good to make people on the call feel good about being there. And how can you do this? In improv, we make our ensemble feel good by hyping them up. Anytime they've been on stage or performed a scene, we want our audience members to clap, to show engagement, to be excited to be there so that our ensemble is excited to be there and has fun while creating these new scenarios. It goes the same way for your Zoom calls. When someone's given a piece of information, just like the audience, you want to hype them up, you want to hype up your Zoom participants. You can congratulate the person who's just spoken by saying, "Great job, that's an awesome point," and encouraging other people on the call to do the same thing. You can also use those emojis, and if someone says something you like, or if you want to respond with some kind of emotion, there are clappy hands, there are smiley faces, there's the hearts, and you can utilize all of these to hype up the people on your Zoom call and make your ensemble feel good. Improv technique number 4, body language. So body language is 70% of communication. Yes, we use our words, but we also use our facial expressions and the way we hold ourselves to convey how we're feeling. This is what makes Zoom one of the more complicated ways to express ourselves and communicate. Even though we are face-to-face, it's hard to see the rest of our body, which tells us so much, which is why what is on the screen is going to be really important for your attendees. In improv, when we're on stage, we affirm each other. So while someone else is talking, we give them affirmation phrases like yes, oh, right, uh-huh, or we nod our heads. So because we're lacking on Zoom those bigger body language forms of communication, you want to have those little affirmation tells. So that might be smiling and nodding your head. Or it might be laughing to yourself and expressing on the Zoom call an exaggerated laugh. Slightly exaggerated. The most important part to note is that we're constantly going to be on screen. Even though you might not want to be on screen, it does help your fellow attendees feel a bit more comfortable and a bit more heard as they're speaking. So while you're on screen, be aware of how your face looks and how you're reacting to your ensemble. And our last improv technique number 5. This technique is the most important of them all, and you should use this on Zoom and off Zoom. Just go with it. On the stage, a lot of things happen, and we can't really hide it when it's done in front of a large group of people. All eyes on you. They know if you've missed a word or if you've taken a wrong step or fallen on your face. Just like on the stage, you might be put in an awkward situation while on a Zoom call. I think everyone's familiar with your face making a weird expression and then freezing for everyone to see. And even though it's an awkward position, we have to just go with it. Try to fix our internet, try to take our video off and turn it back on again until our face is no longer in some awkward pose that we hope it never appears again. And that's okay, because everyone on that Zoom call has probably gone through the same thing. So it's important to just go with it. Sometimes this feels a little bit more difficult if there's some technical difficulty and you're the person giving a presentation. A way to get through this is having a plan B. But as long as you keep going and moving forward, despite whatever comes in your way, you're going to succeed. And those are my 5 improv tips on how to get through Zoom. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that this helps you make your Zoom meetings a little bit more fun. For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification button, follow us on Facebook and Instagram so you can follow This Is Biz and get more information on how improv can help your business succeed. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Angelica with This Is Improv.